is the far-right provocateur whose scheduled appearance sparked protests on the UC Berkeley campus. Milo Yiannopoulos has called feminism a cancer and routinely mocks liberals for being ugly and was even banned from Twitter. So who is this conservative firebrand and why does he provoke such strong reactions? Here's ABC's Kana Whitworth.
The University of California, Berkeley erupting in flames last night. Campus officials say it started out as a peaceful protest, over 1,000 turning out because this man was scheduled to speak on campus.
I find AIDS quite funny.
Black Lives Matter is nothing more than the last socially acceptable hate group. Muslims rape everyone.
I'm grateful to you for coming, but to be quite honest with you, your feelings.
Milo Yiannopoulos, or Milo as everyone calls him, is one of the most famous or infamous self-proclaimed trolls on the internet. He's an editor at Breitbart, the conservative news website.
I don't say anything I don't believe, but of course I do say things in a way that is going to elicit a response from people.
ABC's Terry Moran interviewed Milo in London last fall.
God, I'm so bored of this like uptight, pearl-clutching, why can't we all be nice? No, America needs more hatred.
The UC Berkeley event was supposed to be the last stop on his college tour.
We will not tolerate racism or sexism or hate crimes and violence. He's a fascist, and Berkeley did not welcome him.
But it was canceled after more than 100 people with black masks armed with firecrackers and baseball bats showed up, seizing an opportunity to turn the otherwise peaceful protest violent.
I think we have a right to say that we don't want him here. And
the standoff intensifying. At least 6 people were injured, including this Trump supporter who was pepper sprayed. Kiara Robles, who says as a gay conservative herself, she was there to hear Milo. She expected protesters, but nothing like this.
They hit all my friends with flagpoles. They sprayed us with mace. I had to jump over a fence. I'm lucky they didn't chase me. I was there to voice my opinion about free speech and to watch a controversial view. And people were here trying to shut it down. I think this is like a historic moment, honestly, because I feel that I'm embodying Berkeley-style history more than anyone else who was protesting there.
The event canceled. Milo rushed off campus, later taking to Facebook to respond.
Because they're so threatened by the idea that a conservative speaker might be persuasive and interesting and funny and might persuade, might take some people with him. They just have to shut it down at all costs.
The president now threatening to cut funding if UC Berkeley does not allow free speech and practices violence on innocent people with a different point of view. No federal funds? However, education experts say there is currently no federal law that allows the U.S. government to deny funding to a higher education institution because it prohibited someone from speaking on campus.
in a statement to ABC News, UC Berkeley said that police evacuated Milo from campus for his own safety, thereby bringing the event to an end, adding that while they have made clear our belief that the inflaming rhetoric and provocations of Mr. Yiannopoulos were in marked opposition to the basic values of the university, we respected his right to come to campus and speak.
But tonight, Milo continues to fan the flames on Fox News.
Berkeley gets $370 million a year. It is one of the biggest research universities. It's one of the highest ranked research universities.
Right.
But it's churning out graduates who don't do very much because only 47% of their graduates go on to full-time employment when they leave. It seems to me that a lot of that federal money could be repurposed very effectively if Berkeley refuses to honor its First Amendment commitments. I don't think any serious person denies that American academia is totally dominated by left-wing points of view.
Free speech is important. He's allowed to be as hateful, misogynistic, racist as he is. But good people who oppose that sort of invective also have their free speech to say that that's not acceptable.
The protests at Berkeley just the latest flashpoint in an increasingly divided country since the election.
This is what democracy looks like.
People have been prompted to exercise their free speech rights, galvanized around issues like women's rights, environmental concerns, and immigration.
And then you have opportunists like Milo who are sort of gleaming off, poaching off of this divisiveness.
For Milo, there seems to be no limit, no holds barred for the dropout from Cambridge University, a sometime poet, a tech journalist, Donald Trump supporter, gay Catholic, and entrepreneur.
I don't entirely believe in lesbians.
Milo says no one should be upset by his jabs.
If I'm occasionally mean, it's normally because they deserve it.
You know, I think actually America's had enough of nice manners. If my rudeness creates conversation, my rudeness provokes people into, first of all, saying, oh, what a monster, blah, 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 and then 20% of people start talking about what I was actually saying, I will consider my career to have been a terrific success.
Milo helping to legitimize a movement of negativity growing on the internet. One of his hot topics is the female physique.
You're going to go after somebody's body?
Yeah.
To denigrate their ideas? What grade are you in? Seriously.
No.
That's revolting.
No, it's not revolting.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. I'll tell you what's revolting. What's revolting is the body positivity movement. What's revolting is this idea now that you can tell women that they'll be healthy at any size. Why? Because it tells women that you can be fat and you can be unattractive and you'll be happy anyway. That's a lie.
Another target, the mainstream media.
It's no surprise I get a lot of bad press because my stated enemy is the press. You know, I'm dedicated to the destruction of political correctness, and political correctness is the language the media speaks, right?
Milo is not the only Breitbart provocateur making headlines. There's also Steve Bannon.
And suddenly, Breitbart, which is used to be on the outside throwing stones in, is on the inside throwing out.
Bannon, former head of Breitbart, now Trump's senior advisor in the Oval Office, is generating his own share of controversy.
He is the person that is urging President Trump to continue his combative and aggressive tone, go to war with the news media. Bannon now formally has a seat at the table in just about all of the critical places. He's been elevated in the National Security Council. He's been put in charge of task forces. He has been creating his own lines of communication.
House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi today saying she believes America is less safe with Bannon having Trump's ear.
It's a stunning thing that a white supremacist, Bannon, would be a permanent member of the National Security Council and dismissing Chairman of Joint Chiefs and the Director of National Intelligence as permanent members.
Bannon does not identify as a white supremacist, but instead has referred to himself as an economic nationalist.
We're very concerned with some of the initial executive orders and other statements that we've seen coming out from the White House. We've been very public about our concern about the treatment of refugees, the Muslim ban, the religious test. A lot of people are very uncomfortable with the tenor of the public discussion.
The tenor that reached a pitch last night at UC Berkeley has quieted today. A few reminders of what happened is still visible. But for now, this divided country showing fewer signs of uniting. For Nightline, I'm Kana Whitworth in Berkeley, California.